Today I have control. We have control, and it's only by the power, might, and mercy of God that we have any control. He is our power source. He is what keeps us going, that gets us moving every day, who allows us to wake up. We have to remember the alarm clock does not wake us up every day. That alarm clock has nothing to do with what our day is going to be, what it's going to be like, or what's going to happen in during that day. All our power comes from the main source, and that's Jesus Christ. So I just want to thank you all for another wonderful, epic episode of the I Am a Superwoman radio show, the multi award winning I Am a Superwoman radio show, brought to you by moi. I am a Superwoman, aka I am Tina Hobson. I almost forgot who the real me was. I'm so used to saying Superwoman. The real me behind the cape and the big S on her chest is Tina Hobson, a little girl from Chagrin Falls, Ohio, who went through trials and tribulations. Like I said, it doesn't matter what the clock says or what other people say. I went through a lot. I went through a lot. And it was only through going through all the trials and tribulations, going in and out of the wilderness, that I am here today, blessed and highly favored to have our special guest on tonight. His name is Rich Hall, and you are going to love him. We spent just a couple of minutes together getting our sound and our lighting just right, because we want to look good for
Do I look good? Do I look good?
you. Look good. You look
Thank
you look marvelous. You look absolutely marvelous.
As well you do.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you. I
welcome.
had to do a little something with my hair, you know.
Well, my hair looked good until I had to put these on, but you know.
Okay. So this cold here in Ohio, it is truly, truly, truly a cold day. It's been a cold week. We had a early winter. We had no autumn. Fall didn't even exist. We went straight from summer, from 70 degrees to 30 degrees in a matter of hours.
I was
And
talking to some, yeah, I hear you. I was talking to some fam up in Detroit, and they said that it was 14 degrees, so that may be not too far from where you're at. And I'm in Colorado, and guess what? It was about 55 today, so.
I don't like you. I don't like you at all. That's the type of weather. If it was 50 degrees here, it would be a heat wave.
Well, it could change tomorrow, and we could get 2 feet of snow. We got about a foot last week, and then
oh my goodness,
gone. But,
okay, well, enjoy it while you can. Enjoy it while you can.
You got it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my special guest, Mr. Rich Hall. He told you where he's from. Now he's going to tell you a little bit about who the real Rich Hall is.
Well, I am a rock musician, and I'm in an act called Follow No One. We've been going for about 3 years now, and this year we just received our first major award. We were voted Best Rock Act at the Josie Music Awards held at Dollywood Theater. Thank you. And you know, who am I? That's a tough question. What kind of details would you like?
It's your time.
You told me go for it. Well, I can do that. I can take it over. No, but I'm rocking with a guy named Pedro Marino Almeida out of Lisbon, Portugal. And about, I guess, I'll back you up about 5 years ago here.
Okay.
About 5 years ago, I had some health issues, and this kind of leads into some of the spiritualism you're talking about earlier in our Lord. You know, I had went through a pretty rough patch, and to cut a long story short, it ended up on a hospital bed in the ICU in the hospital in Illinois. And at that time, I about bled to death, and they thought I was dead, basically. So they told the helicopter to turn around and just don't worry about it, because he ain't going to make it. Well, by the grace of God, I got up off there. And ever since, I've been fighting my way back. And then about 2 years after that, I went back into recording and songwriting heavy, and because it took me a little bit to get my singing voice back, even be able to walk, do all kinds of crazy stuff. And during the course of that, I was in Kansas City and finally getting going again. And during the course of the project, the engineer got crossways with the studios and took off with the music. So,
wow.
Lord, I went from down here to up here, and then
Back down again.
Yeah, and at that time, I heard from Pedro. He had found me on the internet, and like I say, by the grace of God, he's in Lisbon, Portugal. I'm in Kansas City, and Pedro just happens to find me. And we talked about doing a song. We did our first song, Guardian Angel, and ever since, we just stuck with it. Me and Pedro just clicked like I haven't with someone before. And I have everything I have, from going to the bottom to this is my top, at least. I have no one to thank but God Almighty Himself, because God gave me, my faith is really what got me through not only that period of my life, but the period that led up to that. And I never thought that I would end up there, but I just kept plugging away. And I, really, and that's anybody watching, no matter how low you get and down you get, if you keep your eyes looking up and looking up towards our Lord, He can do some great things for you. But you got to be willing to put the work in, and you got to believe. So, that faith and that work go hand in hand, I believe. Paul said faith without works is dead, right?
Absolutely.
So there it is. And we just keep on plugging away every day. And as long as you do that, good things can happen. The only time something doesn't happen is if you don't do anything to help. So I'm doing everything I can to help. And I'm just thankful to be on shows like yours right now, just to, tell a bit of my story, but also get closer to our fans and so on. Because at the end of the day, that's why I'm here.
You said it real good. We can shorten it up by saying we do our best and let God do the rest.
That's right. Yeah. But if you just want to sit there and wait, you might be waiting a while. Life's short. Every day, hit it as good as you can with whatever you've got going, because it may be the last day you ever get to do it. And that's how, I always try to think of, if I'm performing or I'm writing a song that I'm getting ready to release or something like that, I've been there, done that. I know how quickly life can be snatched from you. So whatever I leave this earth, I want it to be my very, very best. And I think musically speaking, if you talk to some of our fans that have been with us for a while, hopefully they would agree. And I know that some of them do, because I hear it, is that we just keep getting better and better and better. And I'll never be satisfied with where I am. I want to take the gifts that I've been given by the Lord and make the most out of them, because that's what, at the end of the day, that's how I glorify Him.
Amen. That's an awesome testimony. That is a true, awesome testimony. And so true for so many people. Our story is our story. Sure. Nobody can duplicate it, but so many can identify with it. Your pain might not be my type of pain. And we can both lose a loved one, but the pain still isn't the same.
You're right.
The way you feel about that person could be totally different from the way I feel about that same person. So you can't say, well, I know how you feel, because you don't, or I know where you're at. No, you don't know where I'm at. Okay. True. You might know how I feel, but you don't know to what extent I'm feeling. You have to have lived it. You have to have been such an integral part of it that you can actually say that I know what you're talking about. I know. I feel you. I feel
what you're saying. Yeah, but what you said is right. We've gotten in, I think, just in general, we just want to throw everything into generic labels, be it religion, be it race, all white people are like this, and rednecks are like this, black people are like this, and whatever, no, man, everybody's different. We're the same in the context that we all generally want the same things. We all want peace of mind. We want love. We want comfort, security. But in our heart of hearts, everybody goes through a different experience in this life. And that, just by that, you can say no one's the same. Everyone's unique. Even the same families, when they lose a loved one, people always react different. Me and my brother lost our dad a couple years ago. And, the way it affected him was different than the way it affected me. It hurt us both,
Yeah.
but we both have our different types of pain, I guess, that you carry with you until we don't have to anymore. And what a great day that'll be.
Right. Even identical twins have different fingerprints.
Sure. Different
Okay.
souls. For
Different
sure.
souls, right. We hear
Right.
about twins who can feel what each other are feeling. And there's a lot of phenomenon that goes on between twins. But the bottom line is they are two different people. They
Right.
weren't born, they might have been born, minutes apart. People say, well, we were born, at the same time. No, somebody had to be born first.
Oh, yeah.
Neither one, both of you didn't just pop out at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody had to be first, and that's what makes the identity yours. I'm the oldest twin, or I'm the youngest twin. Like I said, they all have different fingerprints, so there's a different sort of a path of life that we all take. Unfortunately, my path was drugs and alcohol, and it didn't go very well, because what I had done was tell God that since nobody liked me anyway, I'm just going to run my own life, and whatever happens happens. Oh, a lot
Recipe
of,
for disaster. You know it, and I do too.
that's exactly what it was, a recipe
Yeah.
for disaster.
Yes.
I was always a time bomb waiting to explode. And but he let me have these mini explosions, but he brought me through. He brought me through, and today, I'm an author, I'm a radio personality, I'm a counselor, I'm a mentor, I'm a life coach, and I do things to help people. Before, I wasn't trying to help anybody else. So
Well,
you can't judge a person by their past either. you know
no.
you said it. You can't judge a group of people by your experience with one person.
No, sure. No.
All
It's
black.
kind of funny. That's why I said earlier I was kind of use that word because I was I'm originally spent a lot of time in Detroit, Michigan, and I'm down here recording one of our newer songs, and the engineer said, "You're from Detroit." He goes, "Man, you sound like a redneck." I go, "Well, yeah, I lived in Kentucky for a while. I just pick it, so I pick it up wherever I go." But yeah, right on. People just, people make assumptions, or you know what I'm saying there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And all you have to do is get to know us.
Oh yeah. And you know what? Everybody's got something. Like I heard this a long time ago, and I try to carry this with me. No matter who you're looking at, no matter what your opinion of them is, they could be up here, they could be, in the gutter. Someone somewhere cares what happens to that person, and someone loves that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere cares what happens to them. So before you go off and start treating somebody that way, you know what? Kind of keep that in mind, especially if it's somebody I'm talking about people you're first meeting.
Yeah.
Don't be so judgmental, man. We're all that way, and I try not to be. I am someone who isn't, but I don't like it, and I think we'd be a lot better as society if people kind of drop that a little bit, because we got a lot of that going on right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We expect too much from other people. We want them to be the way we want them to be. We can't even be the way we want to be. So how can we want somebody else? How do we think that we can fix somebody else to be the way we want to be when we have no control over our own selves?
You know what? That's brilliant. I had never heard anyone say that, but that's so true. Yeah, I can't even get my own stuff straight, and I'm going to tell you what the nah. No, but we've been there, done that. We all have, right?
Yes. Even our children, we can tell them everything we want to do, what we want them to do. We can tell them, but they're going to do what they see us do. That's what makes the biggest impression on children. It's not what we say, it's what we do. So we have to be real careful around our children in those formative years, because we are the example that they're going to follow. And if we don't give them what they need, they're going to find somebody else to follow.
Sure.
And there again, a recipe for disaster, the street gangs and the cliques and stuff that are going on in these big, and not even just the big cities, but all cities all over the world.
It's everywhere now. There ain't no
Yeah,
escaping it. And when I was in the Army, one of the first things I noticed was, I guess I just met a lot of people that were right off the block, out of the hood, and they came into the military because, quite frankly, not only for the opportunity that they got, which was great, but they came there because in some cases it was safer for them to be, going over to where we went to. That was safer for them to just hang around where they were at. They got away from all that, and it's tough to do.
right.
That's why we should celebrate those that. Well, I'll say this the right way. We should celebrate those people that escape that. But by the same token, I think it's always nice to see people that do that give back. And those are really people that we should be celebrating,
Absolutely, absolutely. I had never thought the way that example that you just gave, because I've heard about people, who become institutionalized by their own device, because
Mm-hmm.
they'd rather be incarcerated than to be out on the street. Their chances of being killed are so much greater outside the prison gates than they are inside the prison gates.
Well,
And
yeah, not only that, but I think this kind of goes hand in hand with what you're saying. Some of the people that get locked up, we've set them up for failure. There's no way. The way things are deck stacked against people, they're charging them while they're in jail,
yeah,
and they get out owing a bunch of money, and then nobody's going to hire them. What the heck do you expect to happen? So I like to see what I'm seeing going on in the criminal justice reform, to where we're not going to keep people locked up for stupid things, just the things that they need to be. And but by the same token, there needs to be something else that goes with that. And I think it needs to be, well, okay, these guys really want to make an honest go at it, but you got to give them a little help.
right.
You can't make it so hard that most people I've known that have done time all tell me the same thing. The system's set up to put us back in as quickly as they can do it.
Exactly.
I've seen it, and I'm sure you may have too.
I've seen it and I've heard it. I've heard it with my own ears.
Okay, I guess you did.
I worked in the prison. And the last thing that some of them will hear is, "I'll see you when you come back."
Yeah, that's real encouraging, isn't it?
Right. So what do?
No.
They figure nobody cares about them anyway. So why not keep doing what I'm doing? They don't have anywhere to go back to. They weren't given any coping skills. They don't know what to do with freedom. So they do something, maybe not consciously, but subconsciously, to get caught again, so they can go back to that uncomfortable comfort zone.
Yeah.
As uncomfortable as it is, it still feels safe.
Oh, no, I get it, because some of their friends are in there, even in some cases family members and the whole nine. But yeah, that's what I was just saying. Hopefully, what will happen here going forward is, some people deserve to be locked up. I ain't gonna lie to you, they should be, and good thing, keep them locked up, depending on what they did. But if somebody's getting out and making an honest go at it, maybe we shouldn't be so hard on hiring people, giving them a second chance. And I like people that give people second chances.
Absolutely. Everybody deserves one.
Yeah, I've gotten one. I'm sure you have too. Maybe two. I've got more than one. Heck, I've gotten probably, I don't know. I've lost count. I don't have enough fingers and toes.
I know. And if we would all look at the fact that we've all done something that we want to be forgiven for.
Oh, sure.
We all have done something. And so if I can't forgive you, what makes me think that I deserve to be forgiven?
Well,
people don't think it. They don't even think that way. Some get to the point where they're so arrogant and self-centered that they can't see anything farther than their nose. It's all about them, that me-centered person. Some people, the clinicians, call it self-centeredness. I call it me-centeredness, because it's all about me. Yeah. It's not about anybody else. It's not about my mother, my father, my brothers, my sisters, nobody. Society especially, because of course I believe society did me wrong. Okay.
Well,
I'm not going to be there for them. They're not there for me. But it takes something to happen. What was that one something that it took for you to just really, really turn it around, Rich?
uh, well, almost dying. Quite honestly, I mean that's about as low as you get, you know.
Yeah,
Um, but at the same time, it wasn't like I expected it to happen, so it wasn't like. But that served as a wake up call. But what it caused me to do is caused me to focus on what's important in life more than anything. And some of those things I already had in my heart, but not everything. And really, even more than that, though, it just gave me an appreciation for everything that I had, even though I thought I didn't have much at the time.
yeah,
It gave me an appreciation for just, being able to get up every day and feel halfway decent to start out with. And then, it gets progresses from there. And quite honestly, the Lord, of course, but besides him, my kids, my kids were my inspiration to get out of that and get back to where I could be somebody that they could be proud of. And I did some during that time period. I did a lot of soul searching, but I did a little giving back, like we were talking about earlier, and spent a lot of time working with the elderly in nursing homes. I actually preached to them on Sundays, and because they can't find people that want to do it because it's not paying. Well, I wasn't doing it for that reason, so I did that for a while I was getting better, and boy, that was probably better than any of the other therapy I could have done. Was just being with some great people and lifting their spirits and lifted mine. And that's so groovy.
absolutely, absolutely. Wow. Again, what an awesome, awesome testimony. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rich Hall. And he's again my special guest tonight. And he's got me sitting here with goosebumps all up and down my arms because as you can tell, I can identify with so many things that he's talking
Yeah, I
about.
think we got a lot in common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what comes from the heart reaches the heart.
Sure.
So I can feel you. I can feel you.
Yeah.
We did different things, but we
Yeah.
came to the same conclusion that if we let God use us, things are going to be all right. They
Sure.
might not be everything we want it to be. It might not be even close to what we want it to be, but it's better than it used to be.
Well,
Laying,
yeah,
laying on a gurney, and they're telling the helicopter, well, you might as well just turn around because he's not going to make it. That had to be one heck of a feeling.
well, I don't see. I'm replaying that because at that moment, I was like unconscious and some things happened even then. I actually deal with that in some music that was part of that project I was working on. I won't go into that here, but yeah, I didn't hear any of that. It was like when I saw the last people I saw there later on, they all just came up and, grabbed me. He's like, "Hey, you're alive." I'm like, "Yeah, what did you expect?"
Okay. Well, they said you weren't going to make it.
Yeah.
Well,
They counted me out, but they shouldn't have. God
Nope.
didn't. His vote's the only one that counts in that regards.
He still had something for us to do. He still
Sure.
had something for us to do. Rich, your song, Fear No Evil. Tell us what was going on when you wrote it, right?
Yeah, well, that was a combination of myself and Pedro. Like on this particular song, I focus more on the lyrics and the vocal side of it, and Pedro was integral in the music, and then we did some things between each other, to get the song done. But really, where it started was I was actually down in this room right here after I'd moved here about a year ago, I think, and I was just started writing some words down, and I wrote just the chorus, fear no evil, hear no evil, see no evil, be no evil.
Yeah.
And just sat it down, and I forgot about it because I didn't strike me at the time. Nothing did. So then I got some music for Pedro, and then I started humming along to it. And I looked at this and I was like, oh, wow, I remember this. So it kind of fit with it. So I then sat back, and really where the song came from was, it's really about, and this kind of ties in maybe to some of the stuff we were talking about earlier. It's really about, if you want to talk, most of our songs, I'm not going to say I write songs that have messages in all of them. They don't necessarily. This particular song is kind of a story, and it's told from the point of view of a priest who had kind of lost his way, but got his way back. And then when he finally did, he noticed that, you know, somebody that was very close to him was just kind of just, I'm not going to say what they refer to as lukewarm. You know, he wasn't hot, he wasn't cold, he was lukewarm.
Okay.
And you know, lukewarm people are some of the, you know, the devil's tool, man, because they're not doing anything to affect. You know, God said either be hot or I'd rather be hot or cold. Do something.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that speaks to, you know, don't just sit on the sidelines, man, in life. When where you can make an impact, make it. And that's really the primary message of the song is, you know, when you get through the metaphors and the words and everything. But that's really what it's about is, you know, making a impact where you can. And you know what? Some people, if you just sit back and watch something bad happen and don't do anything about it, you're almost just as guilty as the people doing it. If you can affect it, and that's really where that song really gets into the heart of that kind of stuff right there.
Okay. Well, we've heard it. You wrote it, so we're going to let our listening audience listen to it right now.
Awesome.
Fear no evil. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? There we are. Okay. Okay, technical difficulties here.
Please stand by.
Yes, because technology is doing what technology wants to do right now.
It happens. It's all good. It's all good. Can the good people still see and hear us?
Yeah, they can still see us.
Oh, well, while I'm on here, then our new song, Bring Me Peace, is out right now. I think you guys will love it. So check us out at follownoOnemusic.com and you can take a listen to it.
Okay. And is that where all of your music can be found?
Yeah, follownoOnemusic.com and on Twitter. And we're at Follow No One Band on Twitter and Follow No One Music on Facebook, and Follow No One on Instagram. So if you type in Follow No One, it'll get us in the list there to get you where you need to go on social media, or just sign up on our site. And I think right now I'm giving away a free song, and that's the song that got us our foot into the award show, the JMA Awards, and Your Time of Dying. And we're giving that to all of our new fans that sign up. So follow noonemusic.com. Have at it.
Okay, and that's where they can find you also.
Oh, yes. And on YouTube, of course, just type in Follow No One and you can find us.
Follow No
And
One.
also, too, they've got my name right now using it in a commercial. If you're watching Bobo, I'm waiting on my car. You owe me a free car. Thank you.
Okay, they're going to act like they didn't hear that.
Well, I didn't call my lawyer yet, but hey, our name is registered and all that good stuff. So
okay. All right, now get into the legalese of it all.
Well, there might be something. No, I'm just messing around. Just put me in a commercial and give me a car. I don't care.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Give you a plug. Give you something.
Yeah, that's right. Show me some love. Let me drive one of the cars in the commercial or whatever.
That would be totally awesome. Totally awesome.
Yes,
My
it would.
goodness. Well, we've got people who have been coming in and out. Let's say, oh no, let me ask you first. Let me see, Brady V. Cardill, he's here.
Hey, Brady, what's up, man? That's an old friend of mine from Kentucky. Good dude.
Oh, Brady. Okay. Is there anybody else you want to give shout outs to?
I don't know who's watching. I'm going to shout out the people that are watching. I think that's a good way to do it.
Okay.
But yeah, I do want to give a shout out. If I had a chance to talk to some of my old friends from the Army over Veterans Day, and I hadn't talked to these guys in over a decade. So you guys, Keith and Tony and Mackie and Great House and all the crew, Martinez, Garcia, my boy. It was great talking to y'all. Shout out.
Okay. Now, are you guys, and well, I want to shout out Michael Stover.
Yeah, Michael. You know what? I don't want to forget Michael. I'm
Okay.
glad you did it.
Let's not forget Michael. He's the one
Hey,
who
no,
got us together.
you're right. You're right. Yeah, right on.
Hey, Mike.
Is
And
he in it? I hope he's watching right now.
he
But,
probably is watching the football game.
oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Um, I
I'd rather
said
be doing this.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but it's the Pittsburgh versus Cleveland tonight. So me and him, we don't discuss that rivalry. Okay, we want
Oh,
to
okay.
be friends, so we don't even discuss football. But I'm sure that's where he's at because the game started about 7 minutes ago.
Well, I'm a Detroit Lions fan, so we don't have any enemies because it's kind of hard to make any enemies when you never really beat a lot of people. So I'm harmless in football when it comes to football discussions.
I try to stay out. Politics and football are some things that will just get you in trouble. And
Yeah.
I guess trying to when you cut in line in front of somebody trying to get that Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah. I heard those must be good, man. People are fighting over them and stuff. So I'm gonna have to go get me one.
You know what the funniest thing is? To show how much I care. I went into Popeyes last week just to get a dinner. It was so, I mean, the line was wrapped around the building. And
Wow.
I'm like, I know what they're here for. And I went I said, well, I already knew what I wanted. And I said, well, maybe I'll get a chicken sandwich just to see how it tasted. I didn't even get the sandwich. It was so much confusion going on. I said, let me just get what I came to get and get out of here. I barely made it out of the parking lot. I had to go in the out. I had to exit through the entrance in order to even get out. It was crazy. It was crazy. And the day when I heard that that guy got killed over a chicken sandwich, is that what this world has come to, Mike? I mean, Rich.
Well, there must be one heck of a chicken sandwich. That's what I got to say. But I digress. No, that's just it reminds me of when you heard people getting shot up for having Jordans back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know. You put about enough people together in enough close, confines, and before long, something like that happens. Sometimes, I just try to avoid it. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Well, once I got there, I said, well, I might as well try it, but I didn't. I left out of there without it. I said, no, it's not. All of this is not worth it. The staff was arguing with each other. At the drive-through, they were screaming through the. You make sure you put my sandwich in there. I'm like, oh my
Sounds like
God.
a party. Yeah, no, not for me. I love Popeyes though, so we never have no problems around here. So
Okay, that's good. That's good. Wow. Well, this has been awesome. This has been truly, truly awesome. I'm going to try one more time.
okay, if it doesn't work, y'all, we're on Spotify, iTunes, every music platform there is practically all around the world. So just check us out on any of those, and just Google search us. Follow No One. It'll point you everywhere you need to go about us, articles, you name it. This interview will probably show up there before long.
Yeah. Okay, it's not doing what I wanted to do, so I'm not going to waste any more time with it right now.
That's all good.
The enemy is in Spotify and it doesn't want to play for me.
Oh.
It's okay. But you heard how you can get in touch with Rich, how you can follow No One. Okay.
Yeah, just put it in Google. That's the easiest way to find us, and then it'll hit all the music platforms and everything from there, and our site and social media and whatnot.
Okay, great. Any final words for anybody new and upcoming in the not just the
Oh Lord. What in the world is that? Okay. Sorry about that.
popular guy.
Yeah, I had that on Do Not Disturb. Thank you, technology.
Sometimes it doesn't.
No. Well, I heard what your question was. I'm trying to think if I have anything, It really depends, because it depends on the age of the person, and it depends on where they're coming from. The main thing I would say is manage your money wisely. You know, you can spend a ton of money throwing it at everybody. There's going to be people coming out of the woodwork, especially if you start on your way up a little bit with trying to put their hands in your pockets. And unless you have to be very, very careful who you choose. She's speaking to Michael earlier. He's the person that promotes me. Well, Michael is the most trustworthy guy, and that's great. But you know what? Beyond that, if he wasn't great at what he does, I wouldn't be using him. And you have to always tell yourself, is this worth the money? Because you're going to find that streaming and those kind of things don't pay a lot. That, and criticism, that'd probably be another thing. Be open to criticism when it's coming from somebody that's coming from the right place. And what I mean by that, I think you know what I mean by that. But if they're giving you some good, honest feedback, and that's not necessarily what you want to hear, and there's someone that is qualified enough to do so, then really work with that feedback. And, always try to improve yourself. Your takes, all the way down from your takes to just everything you do. Try to improve yourself. And the only way you do that really is to hear from somebody objective. And, but by the same token, and this is more important than what I just said before, don't let people criticizing you get you down, because you know what, man, there's a lot of player haters in the world. And it seems like some people just, they enjoy criticizing others because maybe they can't do it themselves. There's a lot of music critics out there. They can't play a guitar. They can't sing. They can't do any of that, but they want to write about how bad or good your music is. You know what? I could care less what any of those people they're running through my head right now. Blogs. Oh, well, this was a little pitchy. My butt. No, it wasn't. You didn't even listen to the song. I know you didn't, because if you had, you'd be writing about it right now, because it was good, because I don't put music out there. So, I'm just being a little silly, but
it's okay.
You gotta have that. You gotta have that attitude.
Yeah.
If it's realistic, have that attitude and just go for it, man.
Amen.
Take no prisoners, and just improve yourself and keep your head straight while you're doing it, if you can.
Amen. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Well, Rich, I want to say it has been a pleasure. It has been
right on. Yeah.
We said we would have a good time, and like I said, what comes from the heart follows the heart. And I said, well, if he said so, so be it.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to start writing some new music, so you have a reason to have me back on.
Oh, well, you got an open mic invitation.
Well, thank you so much.
Anytime you got something new, just let Michael know to hit me up, and that will be your return interview. Well, you're not a guest anymore. You're part of the family.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I'm glad to join you.
Because Mike calls me Auntie Tina. I kind of adopted his children.
Oh, cool.
Those two kids of his are the greatest, and they have so much love from everybody that
that's a fantastic guy.
I appoint myself as their official, unofficial auntie.
Yes.
So, Rich, thank you again.
Thank
Ladies and gentlemen.
Peace rock.
Go to Rich's website. Go to YouTube. Go to Spotify. Google Follow No One. It will take you to all of his music, his band, his just everything that you need to know about Rich Hall and the follow.
Pedro Marino Almeida from Lisbon, Portugal, too. My right hand.
Okay, Pedro. Nice to meet you. Follow no one. Follow no one. Rich, I'll see you next time. God bless you.
God bless you. See you in the funny papers.
I'll see you next Thursday right here on the I Am a Superwoman radio show. Like and share this video, because you never know who might like it and who might have might want Rich to be interviewed on their show. Jai Woodley, she's a great radio personality, and she's on the line right now. She said hello,
Oh,
and you never know in the land of cyberspace, in the land of social media. That's the thing. You never know who's watching.
yeah, and with the magnificent God, you never know what's possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. And on that mighty, mighty positive note, I'll see you all next week right here on the I Am a Superwoman radio show. And in the meantime, in between time, if you're up north like us, stay warm. That weather is actually dangerous. It's dangerous.
Be
Keep
safe
this in, be safe, be sound, be spiritual. And we'll see you next week.
and rock
Good
on.
night. Good night, Rich.
See ya. Bye bye.